Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the 26th edition of the Take One podcast. As of right now, the 25th edition is up right now on the YouTube channel. The link is in the description below if you want to go and listen to that, which you should, because it is a good listen. I'm talking about the Super Bowl trailers that dropped and everything revolving around that, and a couple other things. And I kind of wanted to put two of them out this week, because the last 2 weeks I hadn't been putting out podcasts or whatever. I put out other content, but not podcasts. And podcasts is one of the main things I wanted to put out. I want to put out every week besides just a regular movie review. So yeah, I was gonna do two this week because I had a lot of stuff to go over or whatever, and I didn't want to make an hour-long show. I wanted to do 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, around 30 minutes or whatever. I'm not trying to make it too long. And so, I got a few things that I want to touch on this episode. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking about some movie stuff or whatever. And then I'm going to be talking about some wrestling stuff. So, if you're not a fan of wrestling, you probably could tune out after a certain period. But I will be getting into this segment called The Wrestling Corner. And that I will be talking about this upcoming pay-per-view for WWE. But to basically not just talk for too long, let's get right into everything. Right now we're going to go into the segment of trailer reviews. And so recently I've seen two trailers that dropped or whatever. One of them being for Teen Titans, the Judas contract. And it's it looks like an anime. I don't know if it's like could be considered as anime or it has an anime style to it. But it's a Teen Titans anime like-ish movie or whatever. And I believe it's out now. I believe it is or whatever. Or it's coming out soon or whatever. But, I mean, the trailer looked good. I mean, it looked decent. It looked good enough for me to go and watch. I was kind of expecting them to have Cyborg in there, but it's whatever. But it actually looks pretty good. It got Deathstroke up in there from basically what I've learned is that Deathstroke was originally a Teen Titans villain anyway. So that's not, he didn't originate with Batman, even though when you think of Deathstroke, you think of Batman because of just, I don't know, like I guess because of the video games or whatever, or he's had more adventures with Batman, or I don't know, whatever it is. But when you think of Deathstroke, you a lot of times think of Batman, but he originated with the Teen Titans. And so it looks like it's good. I'm gonna watch it. I'm more than likely gonna do a review on it. I don't know if I'm gonna have my nephew do a review with me, but I would love it if he would be able to do that. But I'm gonna try and rearrange some stuff to where we can make that happen. And if it does, then it will be out on my channel. If not, the review must go on. But overall, I did like the trailer. It looks like it's good. It looks like it has a good style to it as far as the animation goes. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and peep that. And so, moving on to the next trailer. Like I said, I'm going to try and go through these or whatever, because I'm not going to make this episode too long. And the other trailer that I seen is the Ironfist trailer. Now, for those who are into the comic book the frenzy that's been going on for like about a decade now, I would say, yeah, about a decade or a little bit over a decade, is Netflix is doing the shows. You got the Daredevils, you got Jessica Jones, you got the Luke Cage, and so now this completes the Defenders, that basically just the group of Defenders, and that's comprised of all the people I just mentioned: Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and now Iron Fist is going to have his own solo show, as well as Punisher, but he's not in the Defenders or whatever, but he's going to have his own show, which is coming out this year, as well as the Defenders show is going to come out this year. But to get to the trailer, it looks awesome. I wasn't blown away by the trailer, but it did look awesome. A lot of the things that it has of it, and like one of the things that is the kind of like common thread through it is Rosario Dawson's character. I forgot her name. I think it's I don't want to say Claire. But it escapes me right now. But the one driving thread, one common thread through all the shows that basically links them together, besides Dimension and just knowing that they are in the same universe, is her character, because she has shown up in Daredevil seasons 1 and 2, and Jessica Jones. She showed up in Luke Cage, and now from this trailer you see that she's appeared up in here, and she has a heavy influence. I don't know how heavy of an influence that she's going to have in this series, or up in this series, as she had in Luke Cage. In Luke Cage, she was really prominent up in there, and she had a big effect in it. I mean, she had a big effect in like Daredevil and Jessica Jones, but not as big as it was in Luke Cage. So I don't know if it's going to be as big up in here, or she's just going to be in a few episodes or whatever. But in any case, it looked good. I like that they're incorporating more, I guess you could say, CG into it, because it's more of a supernatural type feel to it. I mean, all the other Daredevil has a supernatural feel to it, but this one does have a supernatural feel, and it looks like the choreographed fighting is going to be off the charts. Now, and that's one thing that I could say for Netflix, is that the fighting, it looks crazy. Like, because when you strip a movie from, you know, CG heavy and all this stuff, and it's heavily just dependent on the CG and all that stuff, and you take all that away, and then you put, like, we got this small little budget, so what can you do with that? That's when you have to be more creative. You have to work with what you got. You can't, you know, put all these CG robots and all this stuff, like, and all these like crazy things up in there. You have to work with what you got, and what you got is, you know, you got your story, then you got the fighting. You have to make everything else good. You have to accentuate what you have, and that's what Netflix has been doing with the fighting. It has been looking crazy, been looking good, and just the overall look of it, the feel of it. They've been on a roll, and so this one, because of all that, I have strong faith in that Iron Fist is going to be good. I don't think it's gonna be a show to where it's like, it's okay, or it's gonna be like, oh, that was just horrible. No, like, Netflix has been knocking it out the park. So just like with the Marvel movies, I have faith that this is gonna be good, and more than likely, I'm going to be satisfied. I'm going to be like, yo, yeah, this was good. Hopefully, I don't, you know, get done watching it and then be like, they could have kept that one. But I have faith that they're gonna do good with it, and it looks good. It looks really good. So more than likely, I'm definitely going to watch it, and more than likely, I'm going to have a review for it. I know I've been slacking on it. Excuse me. I have a review for Daredevil season 1. I haven't had my Daredevil season 2 or Jessica Jones or Luke Cage review, but I'm planning on doing that shortly. Hopefully, I can get all of them out before Iron Fist comes out. I probably might spread them out, because I'm going to more than likely need to rewatch all of the shows. So I don't know. Depends on, since we get Iron Fist, the Punisher, and the Defenders coming out, I may try to have all 3 of them out before, or have all 4 of them out before the Defenders come out. And I don't know how. I know Iron Fist is first. I'm over here just brainstorming, so bear with me. I think Iron Fist is first, and I don't know if the Punisher is before the Defenders or Defenders are before the Punisher. But more than likely, I'm going to have all 4 of those seasons of those shows done before the Defenders is out. And if Punisher is before the Defenders, I'm more than likely probably going to have one before Iron Fist, the other one before the Punisher, and then the other one before the Defenders. So, I mean, that will work out perfectly. But overall, I'm planning to have every single one of those seasons out. So, look out for that. I will have it up on my Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. Everything is down in the description below. You can go ahead and check that out. I'm going to have it, I'll give an announcement. In any case, that ends trailer reviews. And so moving into quickly movie notes. And the first topic of movie notes is Thanos will be basically considered as the main character in Infinity War or Avengers the Avengers. I don't know what the official Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. But he's going to be Infinity War. He's going to be the main character, and in a sense, it makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, the movie is called The Avengers, Avengers Infinity War. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a unique concept. It's different. Like, I mean, you haven't really had, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like out the box, you know, to have him being the main villain, being the main character when this is an Avengers movie. So I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna spin this. Like me, I'm having like a hard time envisioning what the Russos and Kevin Feige and just Marvel period is envisioning for this, because at first we were first everyone thought that the Infinity movies, Infinity War was gonna be split into two movies. That it was gonna probably just connect like a part one and part two, but then we learned that each of them are their own separate movies, and now we learned not only are they separate movies, but everything resulting with Thanos is just going to happen in that first one, in that first movie, and then the second movie is not Infinity War, but it's going to be a totally different adventure. So I don't know, but in any case, I'm intrigued by it because I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know. I know they said that Thanos is going to be really heavy in the movie. And of course, he's been teased ever since the Avengers movie. And he's in all these different movies. So it's like, damn, okay, when can we actually see him in action or whatever? So they have to do it. And I don't know how they're going to fit everything into this. It's more than likely going to be like a 3-hour movie or almost a 3-hour movie. But I mean, I'm very curious to see how it's gonna play out. I don't know. I don't agree with the fact that it makes sense. I mean, I guess in a certain sense it does. But as far as it being, I could see if it was Marvel's Infinity War, then I could be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But since it's Avengers Infinity War, I don't know how it truly makes sense that Thanos is the main character, but I mean, obviously they have something in mind that, all of us don't know about. So, I mean, like I said, with the Iron Fist thing and all the MCU movies, they constantly put out good movies, good products. If not really good, decent. You're happy with it. You kind of like, okay, yeah, I like this movie, whatever. So I'm hoping that this is gonna be really good, but I have faith in the MCU and our Lord and Savior Kevin Feige that whatever they got planned is gonna work out. And so moving to the next thing is the new Power Rangers poster. Now this caught my eye as I was going through Facebook or whatever, and I see it's on there, and I like the poster. I mean, it's nothing too extravagant or anything like that, but all it is just have all the Rangers basically together. It has the Red Ranger up front, you got the Black Ranger on the left, and then the pink on the far left, and then the blue on the right, and then you got the Yellow Ranger on the far right. And at the top of it says, "Together we are more." And, it sounds good, whatever. And it looks like they're at the, I don't know, in the command center. I don't know exactly where they are, or it looks, I don't know. Their background, it's hard to tell where they are, but it just seems like, I mean, it's a decent poster. I do like it. It still is decent. It looks like it's not a full poster. It looks like it's supposed to be a part of a bigger image. That's the only thing I can see about it, is that, and it doesn't even have the name on it. It doesn't have, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I guess that's what's making it look incomplete, because at the bottom it has the lightning bolt, the signature Power Ranger lightning bolt, and then it says Go-Go. And for those who've watched Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you already know what that means. Go Power Rangers, all that good stuff. But I mean, it looks good. Like, it has them, it shows them in the full body or whatever, and I mean, I like it. I like it. I still am kind of skeptical about the movie, though. I'm excited to see it. I'm going to go see it because this is my childhood or whatever being reimagined, and hopefully it did it justice. But I don't know. I don't know. It just I have doubts though. I want it to be good. I really want it to be good, but I have doubts that it's not going to be good. I haven't really been too impressed by the trailers, but hopefully that could be all forgiven by the movie. But in any case, moving on to the next one is Friday the 13th has been canceled. And what I mean is the movie. Now, for years, they've been putting out that this Friday the 13th movie is going to be made. It's going to be made. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And we have yet to see a Friday the 13th movie. Now, I mentioned this up in my most anticipated. It was a podcast it was a Take One podcast for the most anticipated film, like the honorable mentions and all this stuff, and all the movies coming out there. And I was giving my thoughts. And one of them was not an honorable mention, but one of the movies that I mentioned was Friday the 13th. But I said that I don't know if it's coming out this year because it's been shaky. Like, it's saying like, oh, it's coming out, it's gonna be this, but no, it's not gonna come out, and then they keep pushing it back, rewriting it, get director and this and that, and it's like it's been a whole bunch of trouble revolving around it. So I wasn't sure if it was gonna make it. Like, it's coming out this year, but I haven't really heard too much on it, so I'm like, okay, whatever. I've heard that they've been having trouble, but it's whatever. And now it's been announced that it has been canceled, like it has been taken off the slate, and it was supposed to come out October 13th of this year, and yeah, they're not doing it. And Paramount cancels it or whatever for whatever reasons, and I guess it's more than likely because of just probably the low performing of Rings. That movie looked like it wasn't going to be good anyway. I don't know what they expected because that had so much trouble. But they can't expect it to be good when it looks like it was rushed. It looks like it was just a cash grab. And then they kept pushing it back. Like, how can you expect to even make money off of it if you're doing that? So, I mean, I don't know if that could be one of the reasons or the main reason as to why. But they don't need to be a reason why. But yeah, and it's been replaced by this Jennifer Lawrence movie called Mother. I don't know what's about that, but whatever. But yeah, I think it's going to, from what I hear, it may be reverting back to New Line, and I hope it does. And I hope when they get it, somebody can actually do this movie, because this movie is not hard to make. It's not rocket science. It's a guy who, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure if he's dead or, I don't know. I guess in the original movies he's like considered dead or whatever. Comes back and kills people in the woods. That's it. That's all you need to have. You don't need a complex story. You don't need to dive into, how he was raised when he was younger. You don't need to dive into his mom's origin, his father's origin. You don't need to dive into all this crazy stuff. You don't need that. Like, all you need is just to make a scary film and just go back to the old Jason films. Like, that's literally all you need to do. You don't need to remake it shot for shot, but just take what they did with the old Friday the 13th films and what worked for like certain films or whatever, and just take that and just redo it, like just revitalize it. It's not rocket science. You can grab a camera, get some actors, not some horrible sci-fi original movie actors. I'm talking about like, good actors. They ain't gotta be Oscar worthy or Oscar nominated actors or actresses or whatever. Just grab actors that are good and they can act good and just freaking go in the woods and shoot a movie. Like, that's all you need is a guy in a mask. He doesn't have a complex story. You know, you don't need that. I don't know what's so big about this. At first they were talking about like making a found footage movie. It's just no. No, they're thinking too much on this. It's just make this movie. Is just make it. If you want, I will write the damn movie. I haven't written a movie a day in my life. I could sit down and freaking write a Friday the 13th movie. Oh my gosh. Anyway, but yeah, they were supposed to start principal photography early spring, and that's not happening. But yeah, it's whatever. But in any case, let me get off of that because that ends movie notes. And let me get right into what people, I know a lot of people ain't into. It's called the Wrestling Corner, the new segment that I was talking about. So if you are not a fan of wrestling or whatever, and this may bore you, you can go ahead and cut this off. But for the rest of y'all, I'm about to give you my predictions on this upcoming SmackDown pay-per-view event, Elimination Chamber, who I think will win. And I'm going to try and do this briefly or whatever, try and run through it. I'm not going to talk too much on it, but I'm going to run through the matches and give you my thoughts on it. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it short and I'm making good time, so I'm trying to keep that time. But in any case, so the Wrestling Corner, we're going to talk about this Elimination Chamber predictions. These matches are not in order. I don't know if some of them are on the kickoff or whatever. I'm going to just give you who I think will win and why. Blah, blah. So, starting off with Naomi versus Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Who do I think will win? I don't know if they're going to give Naomi the title yet. Because she literally just got into the title run. I don't know why they've been holding her back. Like, literally, if you watch her wrestle, like she can wrestle. I mean, she may need a little bit more work on her personalities, her promos, and everything else, but she is a good wrestler. Like, she moves around that ring. Like, you would think a person like that, put it out there, somebody with an ass that big, you wouldn't expect to be moving like that. I mean, it ain't like she's like big or anything, but you would expect a person like Alexa Bliss or somebody like that to be moving like that. And Alexa Bliss don't even move like how Naomi moved. But Naomi, she is, I guess you could say, an athlete. Like, she is athletic as hell. And shit, she's a good worker. I'll just put it like that. She's a good worker. But I don't think that they're gonna put the belt on her. I would be surprised if they did. But I know I've heard something about they may put the title on her because it is Black History Month, and that they do. I don't know. To me, that's in poor taste. Just to give somebody black that title just because it's Black History Month. Like, to me, it's like, okay. Well, so, I mean, every month is Black History Month, man. Black people, we've created America. This country was built on the backs of blacks, So, I mean, it shouldn't matter that it's Black History Month. It really shouldn't. If they're going to give her the championship, give it to her not because she's black and it's Black History Month. Give it to her because she is fit for the championship. But I think right now, I don't know if they're going to give it to her this soon because, like I said, she just got into the title picture. And she hasn't had too much momentum. I mean, she got the fans behind her, but she hasn't gotten too much momentum going behind her. I say let it play out another month or two or whatever. Maybe keep this going until like WrestleMania or even right before WrestleMania and give her the championship then. But right now, I just think it's too soon. So my pick, I think Alexa Bliss is going to walk out women's champion, or she's going to retain the championship. And so moving on to the next one is Apollo Crews. I got it written down, last names and stuff. Like some of them just last names. So yeah, Apollo Crews and Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is, I want to say, because I can see it going both ways. But because, I don't know, like, to me, that's kind of a high matchup. They tried to do something different with Ziggler and, make him a heel now. But why would you put him in a handicap match with? I mean, because Dolph Ziggler, it's not like he's Apollo Crews, to where he's big and all this stuff, and you can believe that he can go against two people and win. Dolph Ziggler, he is a good athlete, like he is a good worker or whatever. But in any case, I can't believe that he would walk out victorious going against in a 2-on-1 handicap match, going against a big guy and a guy like Kalisto. I mean, Kalisto is small or whatever. I can see him beating Kalisto. But Apollo Crews, he's big, but he's athletic. He's like a Bobby Lashley, you know. So I don't know where they're going with this, but to me, it just seems like they're gonna have a fuck finish for it. And I don't know. I think Dolph Ziggler is going to win. He is going to win, but it's going to be a stupid win. It's going to be something to where he knocks Apollo Crews out or something, and he pins Kalisto. Kalisto is going to eat the pin. So yeah, just that's what it is. Kalisto is going to eat the pin, and Apollo Crews is going to probably be late getting into the ring trying to stop it, and you know that's how it's going to end. But I don't know. It's just, to me, when I first saw this match, I'm like, really? And then on top, I mean, on top of that, this usually, the way it's formatted, would be how it would be for a face will be facing two heels, like they did that night for the U.S. Championship on Raw a few weeks ago with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. That's what it seemed like it should have been. It should have been Dolph Ziggler and someone else versus Kalisto, or Dolph Ziggler and someone else versus Apollo Crews. That's where it should have been, but I don't know. It just seemed weird. But overall, I think Dolph Ziggler is going to walk out the champion. Well, not the champion, I'm tweaking. Going to walk out the winner. And I think it's going to be kind of like a stupid finish, but I don't care. Yeah, anyway. The next one I have on here is Becky Lynch versus Mickie James. This one is hard. Mickie James just came back, so you will want that momentum, but at the same time, Becky Lynch, I don't know. Shit. Who do I think will win? I don't have, like, literally, I'm going off the top of the head right now of who I would guess to win. Like, all this, I don't have it written down like, oh, this person for the win, that person for the win. So right now, it's just me brainstorming and thinking what will be the best, or what will make the best sense. I mean, because you got Becky Lynch, who has momentum on her side. You know what, now that I think about it, I think Mickie James is going to win. And she's probably going to win in the sense of where, like, she probably does, Becky Lynch gets distracted somehow. Probably Alexa Bliss comes out, and Mickie James does the schoolgirl or whatever. Not schoolgirl, but just a roll-up pin. And she's going to, like, take it from him. Probably do it, like, grab the tight. So she's probably going to have her legs on the ropes or whatever, holding her down. And she's more than likely going to win like that. I don't think that they're going to have her beat Becky clean because she is a heel. I don't think they're going to do that, but they may end up doing that. So I want to say for the win, and I could be wrong, because this, to me, could go either way. But I think Mickie James has more of a momentum. Not too much more, but just recently coming back. I think she has more momentum, especially keeping the heat heel on her, or trying to build a heat heel for her, or whatever. And this, like, kind of like altercation of this, rivalry between her and, Becky Lynch. So I think Mickie James is going to win. The next one I have on this list is another females match. Like, they got 3 of them on here. Like, that's crazy. Like, I guess they didn't have too many of them. But I'm going to just try and make this real quick, because I see that I'm kind of running out of time, whatever. So, Natalya versus Nikki Bella. Who the hell do I think is going to win? Some of these matches I really don't give a damn about. I think Nikki Bella is going to win. I don't see Natalya winning. I see Nikki Bella is winning. This feud I don't care too much for. Natalia, her reasons, and just she's not a good promo. Like, I don't like her promos. She just, I don't know. But in any case, it's not really selling me. I think Nikki Bella is gonna win, and yeah, okay. And going on to the next match that I don't care about, it's a tag team match for, I guess, I believe it's for the tag team championships. But it's American Alpha, the champions, American Alpha, versus the Usos versus Slater and Rhino versus Breezango versus the Ascension versus the Vaudevillains. This is a no-brainer. None of these other teams is gonna win. American Alpha is gonna retain. None of these other teams have momentum on them. Not really. It's just, so yeah. American Alpha is gonna retain. The next match is Orton versus Harper. Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. Randy Orton is gonna win only because the reason I say that is because he has that momentum. He just won the Royal Rumble. He's going to WrestleMania to challenge for the WWE Championship. He has the momentum on his side. So him losing to Luke Harper right now, it won't be good for his momentum. So I believe that he is going to win. Whether it be with Randy Orton, it could be clean. It could be clean or it could be dirty. It could be like he comes out there with Bray Wyatt. And then Bray Wyatt kind of does the distraction and then Randy Orton pins him. I think that's more than likely what's going to happen. But he can pin him clean. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Randy Orton. And it's not because Randy Orton's my favorite wrestler. Randy Orton, he's going to win. Like I said, he has the momentum on his side. And he has to keep up that momentum. I mean, he just lost to John Cena this past Tuesday on SmackDown. So he needs momentum. He can't take two losses back to back. If he does, then that momentum is either dead or it's dying. So yeah, Randy Orton is going to take the win. Which brings us to the last match of the night, and it's the Elimination Chamber for the championship. Now, I'm going to give you what the rumor says, and I'm going to give you my thoughts of who I think is going to win. But first, all the participants in there is Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt, John Cena, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, and AJ Styles. Out of all of those people, it's going to boil down to, I say, two people, which is Cena retaining or Bray Wyatt. I want to say that they can go either way because Cena can retain, and then it's gonna be Cena versus Orton at Randy Orton. Cena versus Orton at WrestleMania, which I know a lot of people don't want to see, which I don't care. I mean, it's Randy Orton, whatever. I know that they're gonna more than likely have a good match. I don't know if it's gonna be a great match, but I know that they're going to have a good match at WrestleMania. Or it could be Bray Wyatt, and it's going to be the breakdown of the Wyatt family with Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Which of them will be a high possibility? I don't really know. I really don't. To me, Cena versus Orton does sound kind of boring, but at the same time, Bray and Orton don't really sound appetizing to me, and I don't want that to sound kind of gay, but I mean, just it doesn't sound that good to me either. But they do have weeks until WrestleMania to build up on that feud, which if they were to build up on a feud between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, which more than likely that's what it's accumulating to be, I could be a believer in the match. But as of right now, I don't see Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton be a big match when it comes to WrestleMania, as a Orton versus Cena would be, or even a Orton versus AJ Styles. It doesn't scream big match to me. I mean, they lost the momentum with Bray Wyatt when they didn't capitalize on him and the Wyatt family. It just kept giving them crappy storylines and just wasn't doing anything with them. Like, it just lost the momentum with that. So it's really hard. As much as I want Bray Wyatt to be a champion, or a world champion, or just any champion at that, it's like I can't see him as the world champion, at least right now, because they haven't built him up that strong. And so I want to say, as much as I would love Bray Wyatt to win and see Orton versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, if they build up the story really strong from now until then, but I think Cena is retaining. I really do. And one thing, I think if they take the belt off of Cena, what they basically is going to do is, like, eventually he's going to break Ric Flair's record as far as, like, I mean, he's tied it, but yeah, he's going to break his record. So if they do it this soon, sometime by this year or next year, he's going to retain the title again, and he's going to be a 17-time world champion. But yeah, I think Cena is going to retain. And but the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if Bray Wyatt won, but I think Cena is going to retain. And so that ends the Wrestling Corner, which also ends this episode of the Take One podcast, episode 26. Thank you guys for listening, and like I said, episode 25 is up right now, so you can go ahead and check that out. It's in the link in the description below. I'm going to probably have up like some, what them things called, notations or whatever, I think this is what it's called. I'm getting used to some of this new stuff that I'm implementing on my channel or whatever. But yeah, you can go ahead and check that out. One of my other movie reviews, I have some up soon or whatever. I don't know which one I'm gonna have. I'm working on one right now. I'm working on a few videos for Black History Month. I know I said earlier that, like, oh, just because it's Black History Month, it should be every month, blah blah. But just because it is Black History Month, it is recognized as Black History Month, I'm gonna do a few movies or whatever that's revolving around black orientated actors and stuff, and just whatever. So, yeah, I'm going to have some stuff out with that, and yeah, I think that's about it. Everything is in the link in the description below, as far as, like, social media and everything, and, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for joining me again. Episode 27 will be up, next week. Hopefully I have enough time to do it. I'm going to try to fit it in my schedule, but I'm going to stop talking because I'm talking too long. But yeah, I will catch you guys later. Until next time. Peace.